and she's gonna come over there and pull her ears further back than they're already pulled. And Lisa says, I have not had a facelift. I just have threads on both sides of my face. And Bronwyn breaks down crying, and Meredith is there for her. And Bronwyn lets us know my mother's not okay, and they're all coddling Broadway. She's like, I'm even liking Brittany now, and I mean, Angie's even starting to like Brittany. This Brittany is not going anywhere. This cast is just gonna. It actually, the article in Us Weekly talks about that too. How we don't have all the OGs per se. I mean, Jen's in jail, but we have had some cast changes, like Jenny N is not there, and Von Teese. But basically, we haven't had a lot of switch up in the cast, and it's more compared to other shows, and so let's just leave it right where it is. But there you go, and they're still fighting and they won't shut up, and Whitney's getting upset and no one's listening to anyone. I'm laughing the whole time. Are you guys laughing? Then Lisa gets her reading, and I don't know, are Lisa and John gonna get a divorce? Like I said, nothing with Wendy and Eddie and all these crimes, none of that shocks me. I mean, yeah, I think Whitney and Justin would probably be next for a divorce on this cast, but I don't know. Lisa and John, now I have really red flags based on this reading. And he's like, she's like, my husband's my best friend. He's like, but you don't trust him. You guys don't communicate. You're on different paths. She tells us marriage is hard. You're not on the same path. I just think it's like the typical, and I'm not criticizing Barlow because I love her. I just think it's the typical, like, you got famous and you're doing your job, and if this job is all encompassing and the fame and you're loving it and that's the path you're on. And it's not the same life for John. It's not the same person he married, which is, I mean, go spread your wings. But I don't know. I started to see some red flags. Like, are these two going to break up? I'm starting to see it. Huh. Maybe not today, maybe not next year, but I'm starting to see it. Angie has her reading, and the guy says, is there a product you're working on, expanding a business, and not your other business but like a product? She says to us the only people that know that she's working on a product, which are sunglasses, are Sean, Electra, and herself, and the sunglass makers in Italy. The guy seems to be pretty good, guys. I don't know, but there you go. And that's that. Meredith has her reading, and basically, they say someone in your world is struggling with mental health, and then they start to say, there's a person in the friend group that you shouldn't trust. Whitney has the same basic reading, but while Whitney's having the reading and they're saying there's a snake in the group and there's someone you shouldn't trust, Lisa's coming in and out, and she has to leave, and of course, they're making it seem like this is Lisa, which is kind of funny. Whitney and Lisa, we realize, are not like always in the greatest place. Meredith and her are fine. The ladies are still fighting outside, and the others can't shut them up. And they say it's a race to the bottom. And I gotta tell you, it's just really funny. Lisa's implying that there's some secret soup man, like the soup person in Seinfeld. But Meredith, Lisa's implying there's some soup man. Here's the thing: Angie got really upset, and she's was talking about this soup man. So, what's going on with the soup guy, Angie? I don't know. You kept mentioning that, and you seemed really upset. So, I got my eye on you, Angie. Are you having an affair with some soup guy, or is there something going on? But she keeps saying there's nothing going on, and Lisa, I guess somehow they're talking, and Lisa's asking Angie, like, you know nothing about me and my businesses. Who's my best friend? Who's my best friend? The camera pans to Meredith. The answer is not Meredith. And Lisa keeps asking Angie, you know nothing about me. Who's my best friend? Who's my best friend? And Angie just says, Ben Affleck. I mean, I'm sorry. This is really fucking funny. That is like a brilliant answer, Angie. So Whitney lost it all. We learned over $500,000, and there's a snake in the group, and Lisa walks through, and Whitney has to let this person through. And I gotta just say, before we get into all this real world stuff that's going on outside of Salt Lake, I love that I love that Angie then brings everything that Lisa gave her, and she's like, you're going to take your products back. Well, I'm going to give you back everything you ever gave me. And it was all the stuff she gave her and Electra. And she just had her reading. And during the reading, one of her things besides the product was, are you going on vacation? Oh, we go on vacation every June and blah, blah, blah. And my father, and he rides horses, or I mean, Electra rides horses, and it's all censored. And the guy said, I see something happening with one of the horses. And she's like, yeah, okay, well, I feel bad for the horse, but all right. I mean, at least you're not talking about my mother the way you talked about Bronwyn's mother. And there's going to be an injury to the horse. And then she gives this big plastic thing back to Lisa, and she's still upset. And she's throwing the cards around. And then one of the things she gave back to Lisa was a horse that Lisa gave to Electra. And she throws the horse, and the horse accidentally ends up on the ground, and it loses its leg, and it's damaged. And it's like, the guy just said there was going to be a damage to a horse. Like, this guy is good. And then, of course, she ends up fighting with Mary because she says, you all let Lisa back in, even though she's the devil. And Mary's like, you're talking to me too? Well, I'm done with you, bitch. So it was a good episode. It was really funny. Do I agree with Us Weekly that they're like one of the best casts on reality TV? I do. I do. The only thing I compare it to is the OG era of RHONY. When you had Bethany, when you had Dorinda, when you had the Countess, when you had Sonia, and then throw in Carol maybe, because that was the time she was there. Whoever else was there, but it was Sonia, and it was Dorinda, and it was Ramona, and it was Lou, and it was Bethany. Those five. It was a comedy. It was a spread your legs and this and that, and they're up in the Berkshires, and Bethany is telling Luann she's a whore, and you spread your legs, and then Bethany's spreading her legs for those when Sonia's falling off the chair. It was just the classic cast. So, with all due respect, Us Weekly, I agree. I think the original-ish era of RHONY, not the original cast, but that era of RHONY was the best cast. People always ask me, what's your favorite franchise? I said RHONY for years and years and years. Even though I split my time between different places, it's New York that I basically grew up, and I am a New Yorker. So I related to those women. It was always New York until it became Beverly Hills. Now it's probably Salt Lake. I agree, best cast on TV. If you want to read the article, it's in Us Weekly. If not, I just summarized it for you. And I love this episode. So slip into the comments. What do you guys think of this episode of Salt Lake? Nothing really happened, but everything happened. I am so thoroughly entertained, and these women are just, this is how you do it, Teresa and Melissa. This is how you do it, Tom and Ariana. This is how you do it, conflict and resolution, and never go deep. They're talking about their bonds. Meredith is there for all of them at any point, and I believe it. And same thing with Lisa, and they really would be there for each other if they got a call. This is how you do it, Teresa and Melissa. This is how you do it. I loved it. Good episode.